Before we start today's video, check out our merch shop, linked in the description down below. Use code Ahsoka in all caps to get $7 off your order. May the Force be with you, and enjoy the vid.
Hello there.
This is where the fun begins.
What's up guys, Unofficial Star Wars here. Hope you're all doing well, and in this video we are going to be discussing a couple of the first reactions and reviews to the upcoming Star Wars Outlaws video game. We're gonna go ahead, we're gonna hop right on into it, break it all down for you guys, everything that we know and everything that we're anticipating right now. Before we do though, however, grab that subscribe button if you haven't already, as we're discussing and covering all types of Star Wars related news, leaks, rumors, theories, and breakdowns here on the channel. So if you guys are into any of that, go ahead and grab that subscribe button today. Okay, so in this video we are going to be taking a quick read from GamesRadar.com as an overall garnering source. I'll have their article linked in the description down below for you guys to check out there as well. So if you guys have been keeping up here on the channel with anything into the regards of Star Wars Outlaws, really, even at that, there have been quite a lot of mixed reviews about Star Wars Outlaws. It being the first, supposedly first Star Wars open world video game. I say supposedly because I think that's arguable, but anyway, let me know what you guys think about that maybe in the comments down below. The concept of the video game of Outlaws is so much more, and it's something that could have been so much more of exactly what it is. It doesn't necessarily over-deliver, and it doesn't necessarily under-deliver all at the same time. I think cutting straight to the case, and to the chase much rather, the big complaint that I've heard about Star Wars Outlaws is the combat kind of systems with it, and like the fighting in the actual game is something that just a lot of fans out there just don't jive with whatsoever. It's just slow, not very exciting, and well, yeah, essentially. So anyway, their article reads that Star Wars Outlaws is an exceedingly fun Star Wars game that's hindered by its poor stealth systems and lackluster mission design. Massive Entertainment establishes an incredible sense of place through its open world video games, accurately capturing the look and feel of the original trilogy of these movies this time around, but also the experience that falters the closer you stick to the critical path. If you've ever dreamed of becoming a scoundrel in a galaxy far, far away, then you'll have a lot of fun in Star Wars Outlaws, and a lot of more crawling through cramped ventilation systems, maybe than anticipated or maybe hoped for. Anyway, don't get caught. That's been an underlying principle of the scoundrel way of life for decades now in a galaxy far, far away. Ever since the exasperated Han Solo tried to talk his way out of an encounter with Jabba the Hutt in one version of Star Wars A New Hope, the crime lord wants to know what sort of smuggler would drop his cargo at the first sign of an Imperial starship. And Solo's answer is why many have become so enamored with the character. He's a wild card, willing to do anything to survive another day in a galaxy, battling between light and dark forces, and really at that, all that lie within between. No matter the personal cost or reputable consequences to his actions. We see that in Star Wars Outlaws, and we get to play that in Star Wars Outlaws. Star Wars Outlaws does its best to render this fantasy into reality and overall concept, and must I emphasize, best too. But developer Massive Entertainment has taken control of the game, and its overall development, of course, has misinterpreted potentially some elements of its appeal through an alien contextual stealth system, unkind progression checkpointing, and a frequently rigid objective perimeters. On top of that, there's always the given on a release date. I feel like for any video game in the recent last couple of years, it comes with a lot of bugs. Critical missions teeter between fantastical and frustration as a result, drawing attention from the litany of success achieved elsewhere in the experience. Honestly, I'm not the biggest gamer out there. I don't have that much of an attention span. I'll play, Fortnite or Minecraft for a couple of hours, maybe Call of Duty. It's been months since I played Call of Duty, but even then, it's hard to say, who, is going to really hinder around when you have all of this going around with Star Wars Outlaws. Don't get caught up and don't raise alarms, don't do this and definitely don't do that is something that goes on and on with Star Wars Outlaws. When Massive is dedicating the pace of a play, the fantasy falls apart. Star Wars Outlaws doesn't appropriately communicate detection and visibility as well. Maybe this is more of a bug at this time, but it's kind of up in the air. Maybe something that will be patched and fixed. Not enough to support stealth as such as principal focus of the critical path. Main missions have little room for you to exercise your own judgment, instead insisting that you infiltrate ventilation systems of Imperial starships and Syndicate outposts, and if you choose maybe to do otherwise, given that it is an open world game and you are allowed to do kind of your own thing out there, it kind of just automatically gets you lose. You kind of just lose and die anyway, and you have to like restart at that next checkpoint or whatever. You get caught and start over at the cost of your patience and the credits as well, so you lose credits or points in that system as well. So to call this an open world game, if you do try to take another decision or another choice of an open world minded kind of scenario going on there, and it kind of just gives you no other way to play around it, it's kind of hard to say that it's really open world. It kind of makes you scratch your head. It's a shame, because if Han Solo and Lando Calrissian have taught us anything, it's that really figuring out what to do once you actually do get into trouble is all a part of the game for being a scoundrel within a galaxy far, far away. And like any good scoundrel, you'll feel a desire to go quiet until it's time to go loud, no matter the situation. You'll want to try and charm your way best past enemy personnel, dressed up in ill-fitting costumes to avoid detection as well, and have that space talk of your way out of and into trouble. What we have here is, instead of a whole lot of different vents that you're kind of crawling through, an annoying lock-picking minigame to access them. Star Wars Outlaws exists in this weird space as a result. It's one of the best Star Wars games on the strength of its sense of place and what it wants to be, but a bad stealth experience nonetheless. Understanding what you value more will ultimately tip you towards or away from this adventure, quite honestly. So it feels very close-minded is kind of what we're interpreting and kind of picking up here really at the end of the day. And as I've played most of the gameplay throughout the remainder of this video, as you guys can see in those kind of action sequences, if you will, those kind of fight scenes essentially, it's hard to say that they're very action-packed. They feel much more very slow, especially if you come off the back of playing Star Wars Battlefront or even Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order or Survivor of that scenario. Those are very high-paced, snappy kind of, action-packed sequences when it comes to fight sequences and scenarios and that kind of gameplay essentially. And that goes for really any kind of video game, I feel like, out there, even speaking, like, take Fortnite, for example, Call of Duty, Sage, all of those games are very fast-paced and snappy kind of fight sequences. So when you get into a fight sequence here in Star Wars Outlaws, it's something that just kind of takes up too much time for it to really get your heart pacing and feel really any major tension that you're actually going to lose. Anyway guys, this is all kind of just what I'm hearing, so let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Thanks so much for watching today's video. I'll catch you guys on the next one. Have a great one. May the Force be with you as always. Peace out.